questions.
Yeah. Again, proud of the fans coming out, continue to support us. We've been through this stretch as of late, but what an awesome cause tonight, and a lot of pink in the arena. And then it felt good to get a little redemption there, as we had a lot of Clemson family, Tiger family that went down to Atlanta, and we did not perform, right? And so it was nice to return the favor a little bit today, and Little John, and that's a really good Georgia Tech team that's very well coached. And again, proud of our kids to continue to stay the course and fight and claw and continue to try to find a way to dig deep. I think that we talked a lot about it this year of how proud I am of just who they are in that locker room. And boy, did we have a lot of life lessons over the last month and a half. And to see them stay the course and to get a win and get over the hump like we did tonight, we got to bottle it up, right, and try to finish out this season the right way.
Coach, you talked about it after the loss to North Carolina. You guys have been knocking at the door so many times. How does it feel to get over the hump and upset one of the best teams not only in the conference but the country?
Yeah, well, I think that's probably some of the reason why we've had some confidence coming back in and continue to work, because we go into the film study and although those teams have been really good, we've just had some things that we can control ourselves, and we don't execute little things, and it's cost us games. But yet we're still right there. And so today was all about bring the same energy and effort and the will to compete like we did against North Carolina, but we just got to be a little bit smarter, right? A little bit smarter, execute a little bit more. And I thought collectively we did that. Is one of our big things is how many times can we get 3 stops in a row? And because Georgia Tech is a team of runs, and tonight their biggest run 6 points, right? And that was opening up 6-0. And I think we had 7 what we call them kills, and it's just 3 stops in a row. We had 7 of them, which leads our entire year, was tonight. So, but a lot of that's them, right? They've stayed the course and was able to look in the mirror and just find a way.
Coach, on the theme of staying the course, it was just 3 weeks ago at this point that Tessa Miller only played 9 minutes and had 0 points and 0 rebounds against this very same Georgia Tech team. Tonight, she responds by leading your team in scoring and rebounding with 18 points and 8 rebounds. Can you talk a little about number 22 and the way that she responded to the challenge tonight against a very good and big Georgia Tech team?
Yeah, well, it was just one of them days. Right? If you would bring her in here and ask her, that was one of those days, and just didn't have it. And in fact, that was kind of the start for me. Following that was we need it, and it for her is just bringing energy. Her personality is infectious, and worry about just having that chip on your shoulder in a good way. And a lot of times when that happens, we kind of follow that lead. And then when she has that mentality, the success follows. But I thought that she was physical. Our guards did a really good job of using some of our ball screen actions, and she rolled and was available. And then the last piece is a development. Early in the year, she did not have that little quick finish, and we were on her. We worked, and there were so many opportunities she wasn't using it in games. And I felt like tonight especially, there was a lot of quick finishes where she was on balance. And so then all of a sudden, because she is small, she's getting it up before the defenders get back to her, right? And so you're not having to worry about how big they are. And then she finished. 8 for 11 is really darn good. So we're going to need her the next 4 as well.
Coach, you went to Addie Grace Porter just 2 minutes into the game, and it felt like it provided your team with an unbelievable burst of energy. She didn't light up the stat sheet by any means, but took 2 huge charges. Felt like she was the vocal leader on the court. Can you talk a little bit about what you saw from AG tonight?
Well, the kid's a winner. All right, that kid's a winner. She'll do anything that we ask of her. She competes. The team loves her. She is that personality that can get us going again. When things don't go well, how to uplift people, how to take I can get after her and take some of my anger out on her, even though I may be mad at somebody else, and she's just okay, I'm good. I've had her for a couple of years. She knows, right? And she'll keep smiling and working. And it's the same thing. I get this question a lot, how does she play as many minutes as she does at that level? When you look at her stats, 0 for 3 from the floor, 1 for 4 from the free throw line. You're what in the world are you doing playing her? Well, she's +9. Right? She's a winner. That's who she is. And I think that we kind of went back to, you start loyal to one, and then when she fails off balance a little bit, you bring in Addie Grace, and then we play different too, right? We're not putting AG in as many ball screens as we do Loyal, but then we can run some action. All of a sudden, Clu's got a couple looks, Hannah gets a couple looks, and then it gives us a different style based on, in a sense, playing two separate type of point guards. Then we'll play them together at times too. So, but that kid's a winner.
Coach, what was the difference between the team that we saw tonight versus what we saw in Atlanta?
I think that it was just a team that, like Atlanta especially, like we've had 3 games this year, we just were no-shows. I don't know how else to better describe it. Like there was no button you could push to get them. And so maybe that was a preparation. I don't know what it is. All right, that was just one of those days. And I also think we ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw, right? Like Georgia Tech played really darn good that night. And, I think coming back, it was just more of a redemption, right? We get a chance to really show them who we are. We didn't show them at all that we were down there. But that also gave us a little confidence because it wasn't like we played great and they still beat up on us, right? We knew how bad we played. And that's not taking anything away from them. They're a really good team. But it was like we're not going to have that same feeling in the gym today. And then, I think there's a trust. Coach Goldberg on our staff put an unbelievable scout together. And there was a belief in what we were doing. We were able to change up how we guarded. And so they weren't able to body us like they did down there, right? They just wore us down in the post with a lot of different people down there, where tonight that was not the case. And a lot of that was just some of our coverages.
Feels like a critical juncture was that final 2 with third, entering the 2 with fourth to hand this 4-point play. Just what would maybe the message to you in between those breaks and just resisting sort of the rally that Georgia Tech was trying to put together?
I mean, we talked about it going in the fourth. They're going to make a run. Like, they're a good basketball team. And when that happens, like, chill, calm down. I think they had a score, then we turn it over, not very smart out of the press, and they score again. They cut it to 6 or 8 maybe. And, like, take a deep breath. All right, take a deep breath. We're fine. Go right back at them. And that 3 that she hit was a really big play that we needed. That just kind of like, okay, we're good again. And I thought it was she played really, really well for us tonight. 4 for 10 from the floor, or from the 3, and 5 rebounds. And she just stretches us out so much, and we could use that to our advantage. So big shot for sure.
Coach, on the theme of development, Maddie Klus, 14 points again. She knocked down 4 threes, 6 rebounds. It feels like this has been the bright spot of the second season from a personnel and development standpoint. What can you say about Maddie and the growth that she's made on and off the court in the last couple months?
I'm so proud. I wasn't here last year, just like how she carried herself, her confidence. But I tell you what, she's done everything we've asked, like when there was some coaching moments and like, hey, we just don't do it like that here. It never was disrespectful. It was, okay, let me learn, right? Let me grow. And then her minutes early in the year would just kind of fluctuate. Then, kind of about that same time at Georgia Tech, I just need a consistent Maddie Klus. Give me energy and effort and a personality that if you're making a mistake, I'm going to coach you hard and I'm going to love on you right behind it, and then just keep fighting. And I think when her mentality changed that and realized that it's okay to make mistakes and it's okay for Coach Poppie to get on you, that you just got to go out there and be the best version of yourself. She's played with so much more freedom, and she's a difference maker. Like, we're not big. You guys see us. We're small, right? So to be the 4 position that she plays, you have to create an advantage. Well, she hasn't. Like, she's 4 for 6 tonight. I don't know what she was against North Carolina, but pretty darn good. And that gives us an advantage, right? And she's got to continue to play with confidence as her game has grown. I laugh because we joked, like, you guys are turning me just into a shooter. Well, you're a pretty good one now, all right? So keep shooting it.
Take one more for Coach. Coach, what's the message? We visited earlier today, and we talked about belief down the stretch. What's the message to the locker room? And obviously the 24-hour rule exists, but a big one this upcoming weekend against SMU, a chance to get back to 500, a chance to potentially lock up a spot in Greensboro. How do you take the magnitude of that moment and echo it to the group without creating too much pressure?
Enjoy this, right? They deserve it. I put it on the board before the game, and like, you deserve this, but like, just because you deserve it don't mean they're going to give it to you, right? We got to go take it. We've earned the right, in my opinion, with our work ethic, how we've handled adversity, that they deserve to win tonight. But we got to go take it, and that's what we did. I don't feel like that we were given anything. We took it, and so enjoy this feeling, but understand what it took to get here. And then when we go to Sunday to SMU, like, that's a good basketball team, right? Like, they're very similar to us. They've been in a lot of darn games and just haven't got over the hump. And they got 2 really dynamic guards. We're just going to be able to show up and beat them, especially on the road. So bottle up what we've done and how we've got to this point. But understand we got to go take things, and no one's giving us anything. And so it's going to be a really big one for us on Sunday, absolutely.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you. Go Tigers.
Thank y'all so much for staying around.